Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kenny Wallace Show. Oh boy, we got controversy in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Noah Gragson wrecks Sage Karam at Road America, right above Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Big road course. They got into a beaten match, and today NASCAR came out and said they are going to fine Noah Gragson $35,000. That is a lot of money. It'd be interesting to go back and see the last Xfinity driver that was fined that much. And now that's not all. 30 points. That's a lot. So let's break it all down. Let's go. Okay, so we all like Noah Gragson. He's a lot of fun. He is a character. He reminds me a little bit of Tim Richmond. We saw those pictures last week where he zips the suit down, got the big old glasses on. He's like, but he's a great race car driver. I like Noah. I would say that this is a turning point in his career. So a turning point means something happens in your life and it affects you and you go, wow, that was big. Now, let's break the situation down. You know me, I love to imitate people. Come on, Herman. He ought to be able to wreck people if he wants to. That Sage Karam messed with him. He owed him. He owed him. Contraire. All right, the Kenny Wallace rule. If you're going to wreck somebody, make it be your own business. If you want to wreck, let's wreck each other. But here's the problem. Let's act it out. Pretend I'm Noah Gragson. Oh, that Sage Karam, he messed with me. I'm going to get him back. Bam. Oh, I wrecked Sage. And then Noah looks in the mirror and goes, oh, no. See, it all goes south when you want to wreck that guy and get him back, and you take out half the field with you. Like Dale Jr. said today, Dale Jr. was on Sirius XM radio. He says, I don't think my driver Noah wants that in his artillery. So, you see the little cartoons, beep, beep. It's like, oh, let me reach in my pocket. Let me throw a Tic Tac out. And, it'll flatten the guy's tire. Oh, let me grab something in this pocket. Let me throw out a little firework. You don't want that in your artillery. If you are going to wreck another driver and get that driver back, it's got to be one-on-one, two cars. Bang, oh, we wreck. You cannot wreck another driver and take the whole field with you. That's when it goes south. That's when it goes bad. Now, I do believe that Noah has $35,000. However, it will hurt like hell when Noah has to get his checkbook out, like his own, and write a check for $35,000. Poof, it's gone. Now, I know what you're going to say. His dad's wealthy and he's got all that money. $35,000 is a lot of damn money. Now, let's say the money ain't the thing. The points are big. That's a big deal. So when I think about this, you know how I always do these videos and I go, here's my disclaimer. I've been through it. I was young, I was cocky, and we all know Noah is a little fun to the too fun side, right? So here's my disclaimer. Back later would say, back in 1900 shit, I'm at Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm going through the trial on the back straightaway, and I'm up underneath. My right front is underneath John Andretti, and we go into turn 3. John comes down. I'm trying to get out, and my right front fender gets knocked in on my tire, starts smoking. NASCAR starts black flagging me, but it only smoked in the corner. I had a little tire rub as I was going in the corner. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, my God, our tractor trailer left Charlotte, North Carolina. It came all the way across the United States. And NASCAR just going to black flag me, make me come into pits and ruin my race. And I'm like, I'm young, I'm cocky, I'm smart. You're dumb. Hey, NASCAR, you're dumb, I'm smart. So It didn't go too good. I'm like, let me blow my tire out. So finally, I pit because they black flagged me, and my crew chief, I believe it was Gil Martin, says, you got to pit. So I pit. This is where it goes bad. I come into pits, and my crew member goes, hey, NASCAR wants to talk to you. I looked at him. I said, you tell NASCAR you didn't see me. Go to the private airport after the race. Guess who's at the airport? Bill France Jr. So you got Big Bill, who made NASCAR. The next one, Bill. He looks at me and he goes, boy, you're in trouble. I said, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Well, anyway, that was that. I wasn't right the whole way home. The next day, Monday or Tuesday, I get a phone call from Mike Helton. Now, this story is so true, I'm telling it to you. And I know that the media watches the Kenny Wallace show. Mike Helton calls me. You know what he says to me? It was right around Halloween. I'll never forget it. Mike Helton says, Kenny Wallace, he was pissed. He says, I don't want to be the one to ruin your career. I go, uh-oh. Next words he said to me, he said, when we black flagged Dale Earnhardt Sr. at Rockingham because we thought he had loose lug nuts, what did Dale Earnhardt Sr. do? I'm like, he pitted. So what makes you think that you don't have to pit when we black flag you? I'm sorry, Mike. I'm going to tell you what, he chewed my ass out up and down. He made his point. Here's the deal with NASCAR. They're going to race with or without you. The worst thing you can do is think that NASCAR needs you. They don't need anybody. They got a great show. They got plenty of race cars. And I learned a valuable lesson. So it ruined our Halloween to where I sat around and just was devastated. And he calls me back later. I'm like, I answered the phone. Kenny, we've reevaluated this fine. Instead of $10,000, we're going to write you a check for, you're going to write us a check for $7,500. I'm shaking. My team didn't write the check. It was me. So I did that. And I can only imagine, and I can relate with Noah. Now, I could never imagine in the Xfinity Series writing a check. I mean, that's about what those guys make for winning a race. Let's say Noah wins an Xfinity race. I don't think his, 30%, or I mean, from what I'm hearing, these Xfinity guys are making that kind of money. I got dear friends in the Xfinity Series that are winning races, and there's just no money. I'd be willing to bet that when an Xfinity driver wins a race now, that he does not earn $30,000. So that's just my opinion. Remind you, I'm the mayor of the Xfinity Series. I've got 544 starts. I've got the most starts, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. That one hurt. So let's wrap it up now. Did Noah deserve the penalty? Does the penalty fit the crime? Yes. Now, remind you, I like Noah. And remember that little redneck over here. Oh, Herman, he ought to be able to wreck everybody he wants to, because that's the way it is. No, you're wrong. I'm right. And here's why. Because if you're going to wreck Sage Karam, you need to wreck Sage. Where it really went bad, and I believe why the fine is so big from NASCAR, is because he didn't just wreck Sage. See, if you're going to take care of business, you got to take care of it on your own. You and the other guy. There's no telling how many cars got destroyed and how many were taken out of the race. So when you destroy everybody's race and everybody's livelihood, the fine's going to be pretty big. So now let's wrap it up one more time. I know I keep saying let's wrap it up. It is, in my opinion, that this could be a turning point, like it was for Ty Gibbs. Remember that deal Ty Gibbs went into? He got into some pissing matches with some other drivers. Have you noticed Ty's been a little quiet lately? I bet Grandpa Joe Gibbs has sat him down and said, young man, I love you. You're my grandboy. But we're playing with NASCAR. NASCAR don't need you. We want to be NASCAR. So it's their ball. It's no different than any other sport. If you like the NFL, you don't tell the NFL what to do. They tell you what to do. Same thing with NHL, MLB. Now, it's one thing to sit there and go, he ought to be able to. No. So I'm sure Noah has learned his lesson. I love you, Noah. You're a great race car driver. And as my mama would say, this too shall pass. But for me, wrapping it all up, where it went bad is when everybody in the race got wrecked with them. All right, gang. Well, that's it for the Kenny Wallace Show. Sorry I haven't been doing a lot of these lately. I've been busy racing that old dirt car. So out of 1,500 drivers, we're number one. We're leading the points. We got 7 wins and about 25 top 5s. We've raced the most. I clean my hands, but I'm a racer and I race. Get on here every once in a while, run my mouth. All right. See y'all later. And Kenny Wallace Show will be back up, run a little bit more, a little more consistency. Consistent. We've been racing a lot. Love you all.